Well, Julia Yaffe, in your latest article for Puck, you write in part, quote, "It can be hard for Americans to understand why Russia's invasion of Ukraine has touched such a raw nerve in Europe. Even the Biden administration did not expect the European response to be so fast and so furious. The widespread expectation, after all, was that sanctions coordinated between the United States and Europe would be rolled out slowly. The fact that there is a land war happening again in Europe less than a century since the last one and using a lot of the same language has been extremely triggering for Europeans. For Europeans, as some of the continent's officials have told people in the Biden administration, this is our 9/11. And it also does trigger memories that are very fresh. I think here in America, we've been sidetracked and distracted by a lot of different things in the past few years. But Europe, their memories are fresh and real, and they hold on to them.
Mika's mom's 90 years old.
Yeah.
I was going to say, you must know.
She was chased out of Czechoslovakia.
Yeah.
Her father was chased out of Poland. When their transport ship got struck by a German torpedo that they had to. I mean, it's a nightmare. So Mika can't keep the TV on in her mom's house. It brings back too many bad memories. But that's happening.
It's right there
everywhere
for her,
across Europe. That's happening in Ukraine. We talked about how Stalin killed 2 to 3 million, maybe 4 million Ukrainians back in the early 1930s. This is still a living memory for so many people in Ukraine and across Europe right now.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, I think a lot of the people who experienced that, who survived that, are no longer with us, which makes me wonder if that's one of the reasons we're repeating this. But as you know, Mika, people from the region, like you and me, we grew up with these memories. This was trauma passed down from generation to generation. This is the kind of the whole cloth of our family stories, right? Is survival and getting out just in the nick of time.
Do your parents hoard food?
No.
My mom does still.
No, but my mom has not been able to stop crying, since this happened.
Sorry.
Because of these memories, because of what her parents lived through. I keep thinking that I'm so glad one grandmother whose father is from Odessa is no longer with us to see this. And the other grandmother who's from Zhytomyr, which is being bombed, is kind of so old that she doesn't really know what's going on, that she can't see this. But I think...
And you look at Madeleine Albright. Madeleine Albright's view of the world when she was Secretary of State was shaped by her family being run out of Europe by Hitler.
Well, and Tony Blinken, for example, the Secretary of State, I think to bring it back to the 9/11 analogy, if you think about what 9/11 was for us, it was this shocking reminder after about a decade of prosperity and peace, at least in the U.S., that actually history hadn't ended. Actually, we were vulnerable. And I think the Europeans really thought this would never happen again on their continent, especially in the same places where some of the fiercest fighting of World War II took place, using the same language with both sides calling each other Nazis. It's just, if you make some of these images black and white, I feel like it could be June 1941. Yeah.
Right.
Mike Barnicle.
General McCaffrey, listening to this conversation this morning, I'm wondering what you think about this. It wasn't that long ago, you don't have to look in the rearview mirror that long to realize that we were surrounded by talk about the death of democracy around the globe, various countries edging toward autocracy. Yet in an odd way, do you think that the efforts of President Biden, and you referenced Secretary Blinken's trip that he's still on right now, in propping up countries and encouraging countries and joining forces, NATO, etc., do you think the revival of democracy might be one of the results of what we're witnessing today?
Yeah, well, I don't know about revival. I do think that crisis like this brings forward in people's mind how precious freedom is and how abhorrent life is living under the menace of the Russian armed forces, the Russian secret police, etc. Throughout Europe, and I think Mika's made this point, 1945, 39 to 45 was yesterday when the cities came down, when Europe was destroyed from the Ural Mountains all the way to the Channel. when the Brits hung on by their eye teeth in 1940. Those memories have resurfaced, and almost no one that we're watching on TV in Ukraine now is not saying, I'm ready to give my life to keep the Russians out of here. And they were a fractured, factionalized, political, semi-corrupt country 2 weeks ago. So I think you make the point that it's actually worth fighting and dying for the freedom of your people. And that's what we're seeing play out on the ground in Ukraine.
You know, Julia, a couple of years ago, I decided to write a book on Harry Truman. Not a lot of people really read a lot of books on Harry Truman. Of course, David Nicola wrote a great book in the 80s. But the reason why was because he put together democratic institutions, post-war institutions, that saved Western civilization, whether you talked about NATO, whether you talked about the Truman Doctrine, whether you talked about the Marshall Plan, Berlin Airlift, all of these things that were, and at the time, we had a president in the White House that was suggesting we didn't need these institutions anymore, that the EU was worthless, that NATO was worthless. He would insult our NATO allies. Hey, thanks so much for watching our YouTube channel. You can follow up on today's top stories and breaking news, or catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.